hi everyone. Good day, good evening, good morning, wherever you are right now. I hope you are safe, healthy, and keeping yourself beautiful in the comfort of your home. In this women-powered episode, we'll be recording our interview with one of the inspiring women that I know, because we are all inside our houses with this enhanced quarantine time nowadays. So I hope that and we hope that this recording is still clear and we could still learn something from our episode with Miss Cherryanne Angoy. Cherryanne is a technopreneur and he is a proud Tagumenya. She's also an innovator, a visionary, and a proud product of Ateneo de Davao University. So hello sa mga taga-Ateneo dyan. She's held leadership roles in different capacities at a U.S. Fortune 100 company. Wow, and her robust training and passion has proven delivering record-breaking results in growth, profitability, employee experience, and world-class customer service. She has a diverse leadership background, which includes technology and wireless industry, digital marketing, sales, and operations. And after having a career in the US tech industry for over 16 years, she's back in the Philippines with a goal to help cultivate innovation and technopreneurship in our community. She's a believer in continued growth and personal development, and she's recently attended continuing education programs at Cornell University in the US and most recently at De La Salle College of St. Benilde School of Professional and Continuing Education. So currently, she is the Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of Seca Infinity Incorporated. It's a family group of companies engaged in multiple verticals, including construction, retail, resort, and tourism. And at the same time, she is also a co-founder and Chief Strategic Officer of StreetBuy, the first Filipino-made super app proudly made by Mindanaoans. And it was an honor for her to represent StreetBuy and the Philippine startup community at the APEC Forum in Taipei in 2019 and won a pitching competition just months ago. She got chosen to be the finalist on CNN's The Final Pitch Show. Wow. So everyone, I'm so excited for this episode. So help me in welcoming Ms. Cherryanne Angoy. Hello,
Hi,
Ms.
everybody.
How are you doing in this ECQ times?
Well, just like everybody else, making sure that we really do stay at home. And while we stay at home, me and my family are keeping ourselves healthy, not just physically, but also keeping ourselves mentally and emotionally healthy at this
Right.
time of crisis, right? So, but other than that, also trying to continue some of the things that we're doing from an entrepreneurship perspective to make sure that everybody in our companies are still um, you know trying to survive in this crazy times. But other than that, thank you so much for asking.
Awesome. And you also still look gorgeous, right? I learned that you have a long experience working in the US before you came here. So I want you to, if you can share to us, what made you decide to come back to the Philippines and give up your career in the US?
Yes, Rose, that was a very, very tough decision, Quite honestly, it took me 3 years to prepare and 3 years to really think about that decision. I'll tell you that uh, two main reasons of me coming back. I would be lying to everybody if I say that it's just because I want to go back and help the community, right? The first reason was really for my parents. My parents are not getting any younger, and right after I graduated from Ateneo de Davao, Literally, I graduated in March, and then I left in May. I went to the US, went there for a visit, and then started working there. And after 16 years, my parents were like, "Well, we really need you to come back home. We're not getting any younger. We need somebody to help us with the family businesses." Man, it was tough because I was already es- established in the US. I had a great career at Verizon Wireless,
Mm.
and man, I loved what I do. I loved coaching my team. I loved seeing them grow. I was well established there, but I just can't say no to my parents after asking me for 3 straight years. Um, so that was the first thing. They said that you're always gonna go back, right, from where you started. So I had to come back for them. The second thing was I figured I already learned so much from a very great company. Verizon is one of the top companies in the world, and I wanted to take the key things that I learned from there from a leadership perspective. At the same time, I was able to see what are the different possibilities when it comes to technology, right? So that became an inspiration. I said, oh boy, what if I can go back to the Philippines and really inspire our kababayans to think outside the box, to really think beyond what they can just see, right? So that said, I'll tell you, it wasn't easy. The transition was tough, but those two things made me really continue, right? Because there are a lot of times when I said, "Ano ni uli pa man ko, uy? Oh my God, why did I come home? Lisod kaayo." But those two things really pushed me to continue.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm sure that Philippines is proud that you are back, and you can give back
Oh,
to the Philippines like after several years with all your expertise and skills and talents right now. I'm sure that it's very needed here. It's as you've said, it's a really a big leap of faith, right? It's a big decision to make. And I was wondering what kind of process do you have to go through within the 3 years when you were deciding um, if you really want to come back here for good, or if it's just come back here and see and go back again to the US if things doesn't work. What are like the decision points that
uh,
you have to, and what are the turning points that you have to go through to finally decide?
yes. Those 3 years. That's a really good question because it wasn't just talking to my parents, right? It involved a lot of things. It involved being still strategic, even though it was a personal decision, but still being strategic and thinking about, all right, when I go back, what am I going to do? What kind of business do I want to engage in? Um, so that was in the forefront of my decision making because, I get used to a certain lifestyle, I get used to a certain culture. So I wanted to make sure that when I go back here in the Philippines, um, that I can still live that lifestyle. Being a leader for so many years and running a team, it's like it's in your nature. So that was the number one thing. The second thing was also financial, right? It's not just going home and then when you come back, have your live in your parents and then like having them support you. So it involved a lot of financial decision making. I needed to make sure that I had enough money to survive me for how many months and possibly years if I can't find something, if I can't put up a business for months and years. So I had to work really hard to make sure that I continue to support myself and save and support for myself. So that's the second thing. The third thing was, oh boy, it was really tough because I had to sell a lot of my things. You know, I had to go through that, like just relive the 16 years because I had to decide what are the things to throw,
Yeah.
what are the things to donate, um, what are the things that I was gonna take with me back to the Philippines. So what are the things that I'm gonna continue to keep there so that when I go back and forth, I still have those things. So those were the three things, but the most important thing for me was, I really needed to make sure that I have this vision, when I go back, that this is really what I'm going to do. Because I've been asking a lot of friends. I asked them, all right, when you go back, what are some of the struggles? And they really were very consistent among my friends. And they said, readapting back to the culture, um, and just making sure that, we accept that the US is a little bit different,
Yeah.
and the Philippines is also a little bit different, diba? So kanang even how we are with our family, how we are with our elders, and Filipinos are very very emotional. So even running teams here in the Philippines is a little different than in the US. So I would say those are really some of the things that I had to prepare for me to come back.
All right. Yeah. I think that goes to my next question. So, how did you finally cope up with that? Because you mentioned it's really different. I mean, I've been to the Washington for just 5 days, but the weather, the kind of people that you've been around every day, and then coming back to the Philippines, yes, again, culture is like not just a bit different, but it's like a lot a lot of difference. So how did you finally cope up? And then the second question is, what is that something that even if you're already in the Philippines, you are still doing that kind of practice habit that you have been doing in the US, and it doesn't matter whether you're in the Philippines or back in the US, you are still do that one thing that is very important to you.
Oh my God, it's really instilled in me, and I think some of the people that are around me are still having a hard time with this habit. Um, but I am very particular with time. So I've always had this in my head that you can't buy time, no matter how rich you are, right? No matter who you are, wherever you rank in the richest, person in the world, and that being late is being disrespectful. So everything I do, I put it in my calendar. So from, going to the grocery store to buy something, to calling somebody. So it's really a habit for me. So if I have a meeting, everything's set in the calendar, but it's been really tough because here in the Philippines, when we say, oh, let's meet at 10 a.m., that probably means somebody's still getting ready at 10 a.m. And then they go to you, or they go to the meeting like 30 minutes late or an hour late. So when that happens, I become very impatient, and I become sometimes upset, but then I have to kind of tell myself, all right, you can't do that. Maybe, like, just try to tell that person, like, ahead of time, how important your time is. But time is really one thing. Time and calendar is really one thing that I still do. um Second, that I still have with me is every year at the beginning of the year, I actually don't do New Year's resolutions.
Mm.
What I do is I have my notebook, and I always write down my goals for the year. And I have it in two different categories. I have a career goal. That's where I write my things, and it has to be very specific. Second is personal goals. And when I write these things, it's very specific where I have what what's the action, um, what's the timeline. So ibig sabihin, it can't just be, for example, um, real estate. It can't just be real estate because there's no verb, there's no action. So it has to be something like, buy whatever or invest in real estate
Hmm.
end of the second quarter, right? So those are the two things that I still really do. And oh boy, the adjustment was really really tough. I swear to God. Just the fact that time moves so slow here, and I'm always on the go. I used to get very impatient with falling in line and why is this line going so slow, or driving and there's so many people not following traffic rules. um, and then even another one is I've lived for so long by myself, so I'm very very independent, and having to come back to my family. And the Philippines is very patriarchal, right? And we still have to respect our parents, especially when you go back to their house. I chose to go back to their house to also kind of take care of them. Um, so what helped me is, number one is really having good support system. When I say good support system, I'll tell you that it doesn't have to be a lot. It doesn't have to be a tribe of many, many people, but it could just be a handful of people that truly understand what you're going through. So I'll tell you, my mom has been a really, really good support system for me. She really understood what I went through, and I was just very open to her whenever I struggle. I would talk to her, discuss with her what are the things that I'm struggling, including kanang mga traffic rules. It could be a small things to the big things that I discussed with her. Um, so she's been a good support system. Also, some of my friends who also moved back either from Manila to other countries to back to the Philippines. So just having those people where you can vent, you can complain, but the most important thing about these people is we don't just focus on the complaining. We don't just focus on the venting, but we always talk about, all right, after venting, after expressing your feelings, we talk about then what are we going to do? How are we going to move forward? So if dili ko ganahan sa ingon ani, naglagot ko ana. All right, so what is it? I can't control those people, so maybe I can control how I react to these people or to these rules. So support system has been really really big. The second thing is that I also found that hanging out or being with people who think like me, who have the same passion as me, was very, very helpful. Raymond Yoza from Street By, kauban ako sa Street By. He's our founder at Street By. Has been really a good help as well because we share a lot of things from a tech innovation passion perspective. People like you who I've met in different groups, and we're very passionate about these kinds of things, have really helped me quite a bit.
Right. So, how do you feel about your decision so far after 2 years, and then you've been working right now with Street By? How do you feel about it?
In the beginning, I would really say again, boy, it was really tough. I miss my friends. I miss the life that I had. Just the career that I had. I really, really loved what I did. Um, Verizon just taught me so much. That was pretty much what I did my whole adult life. I mean, after graduation, I just went there, and that's pretty much how where I learned um, how to be professionally mature, how to deal with people, um, even how to deal with life. Just being in the U.S. by myself, no family, basically no blood relative. So I had to do what I do. I had to survive. I had to like hustle. And then to give up all of that and come back, um, in the beginning, there were a lot of questions about, did I do the right decision? Did I make the right decision? But then as I look back, um, I'm so happy where I am. This is really where God wants me to be right now. It was 16 years that I spent Christmas with my family. I was in sales and marketing, and taking vacation in December was a big no. That was the biggest sales time of the year. So just imagine celebrating Christmas without any of your family members. Um, and then um, there were so many years that um, you know it took away from me spending time with my family. I mean, when I left, my sister was still in high school, so I didn't even get to like drink with my sister, with my younger sister. Just those little things. I didn't even get to hang out with her in the club or go drinking. um, so having to kind of look back and think about the things that I have now, I'm very, very happy. The other thing is, even though I loved being in the US, but it was always on the go. And in the beginning, I was telling myself, "Oh my God, what? It's just 10 a.m. What? It's only like half of the day, and time moves so slow." But now, I actually do appreciate um, kind of the chill, relaxed kind of atmosphere, being able to sometimes take a nap in the middle of the day. So work and life balance was never really in my vocabulary before, but now um, embracing that a little bit is really good. And then, just last but not the least, um, really just being able to contribute to the community, and through technology has just been awesome for me. Um, Even if you think about the pandemic right now, the economy has definitely been affected, and because of um, digital innovation, we're still able to at least support the community. And specifically at Street Buy, we're doing so many things right now that I'm proud of, because despite the risk, we still have a lot of employees that are out there helping the community, serving the community. So it has been a roller coaster ride, up and down with my transition. But for the most part, I'm very, very blessed to be back in the Philippines.
Wow, it's really great to know. And I think you became a gift right now to Mindanao, especially that you are with Street Buy. And it's just the timing that with the pandemic right now, the innovation and the technology company that you are with right now, Street Buy, it's a logistics company. I know it's helping a lot of entrepreneurs and even women and moms and parents and families in their homes So perhaps maybe you can tell us more about what you've been doing right now to help the entrepreneurs and our families in Tagum City, in Cagayan, or maybe in Mindanao, all over the Philippines.
Sure. So I'll tell you that Street Buy is really so different than the other businesses I'm with here in the Philippines. If I think about it, our family businesses, SECA group of companies, these are very traditional businesses. We're involved in different verticals such as construction, tourism, even retail. But everything has been affected with the pandemic. Most of these businesses are closed. We're not earning anything, and I'm worried about our employees from these traditional businesses. But through Street Buy, for those of you who are not familiar with Street Buy, this is a mobile application, and this is an e-commerce platform. We support the small medium enterprises, and our goal is to provide an affordable technology for small medium businesses. If you think about it, it would cost the pesos for businesses to have their own mobile application. But through our platform, they can join Street Buy, and then just with a fraction of the cost, and they don't even have a monthly fee. It depends on their sales. So um, most of the businesses are closed, but because of Street Buy, we still offer delivery in different cities. Cities like Cagayan de Oro, Iligan City, General Santos City, Tagum, Malaybalay, and Valencia, Bukidnon. Um, but what I'm very, very excited about at this moment is that we've been able to help the community with our street buy grocery service. We have partnered with Gaisano, pretty much Gaisano all over Mindanao, so that our customers can order from the app at the convenience of their homes. They can just pull their apps, and from their phone they can see Gaisano inventory products. They can order from their phone. Um, Gaisano has been a really great partner. They've allowed us to have our own, priority lanes where our shoppers could kind of take advantage. So, with that, the elderly and basically all consumers, they don't have to risk themselves to go to the store to buy their essentials. So our mission right now with this pandemic is really not just about delivering groceries, but it is to help flatten the curve by minimizing the movement, right? Instead of having people go to the grocery stores, they could just have our riders deal with that. So I'm very, very proud of that. We've soft launched this in some cities. Tomorrow, Friday the 17th, is actually our official launching in Tagum, Jensan, Malaybalay,
Wow.
Iligan. Yes, and Davao. Davao folks, be ready, get ready, because next week we're actually launching this service in Davao. We can't wait to serve the community Davao. So that's one of the things that we've been able to help. The second thing is Street Buy. We just launched. It's a digital ayuda. You know how a lot of us has been providing ayuda to our neighbors. The government has been providing different care relief packages for the community. And with Street Buy, you can do a digital ayuda. Instead of going to the store, buying products, and repacking it, then delivering it, you can just purchase vouchers through our digital ayuda, and then you can donate that. So I'll tell you a very, very great example, Rose. Are you familiar with USTP?
Yes, in Cagayan.
Yes. So it's the University of Science and Technology of Southern Philippines, right? So they actually have about 70 students, or 70 or more students that are stranded in the city of Cagayan de Oro because of the enhanced community. So these students didn't get to go home, but they still have to, survive. They still have to eat. They
Right.
still have to pay rent and all that stuff. So what USTP did is they partnered with StreetBuy. They purchased about 70 vouchers and then they donated this to these students. StreetBuy got to deliver them products to these students because USTP said instead of us delivering them and risking our employees, might as well have StreetBuy do it. So I do hope that you know um, when people hear this, feel free to reach out to Street Buy, ask us about our ayuda, and we can definitely help you get engaged with the community.
It's amazing. It's very helpful um, for families who need help. We're very happy that even with this situation right now, there are people like you who are doing this effort and initiative and really leveraging a technology in helping solve the problem. And with that, I know that your story has been inspiring women, and it will inspire more. And with your story of having a big decision to make from US coming back to the Philippines, and now you're doing a lot of things for Mindanao already, and um, I'm pretty sure there are women out there who are also in this time of their life that are facing a crossroad in making such a decision. Maybe you have something to share to this kind of women.
For me, I'll keep it to very, very basic, very, very simple. First and foremost, do not let anybody tell you it cannot be done. So, even your friends, even your families, just because they can't do it, that doesn't mean that you can't do it. So never let anybody tell you it can't be done. If you really feel strongly about it, if you really are passionate about it, then do it. You have to do it because you would never want to live and always ask about what if I did it? What if I took the chance? So that's the first thing I would say. And then the second thing I would tell you is that um, don't limit yourself. Uh, Always think about the possibilities. Always think about, it's this thing that I would really challenge a lot of Filipino women specifically because most Filipino women are timid. Most Filipino women are afraid to speak up. Most Filipino women are shy. Um, I would really challenge Filipino women to not accept the norm. I always hear this Filipino phrase. I think it's a Bisaya phrase na okay lang na naandan na nato ingon ani nagyud nana nagyud mo gid natong naandan. I would really really challenge Filipino women to challenge the norm just because naanda na nato, just because we've been doing this for centuries. It doesn't mean that that's the only solution. It doesn't mean that that's the only thing that can be done. Always innovate, always challenge yourselves, and just always think, what if? What if there's another way? What if there's a better way? So, just those two things I would say.
Wow, I really love that. Challenge the norms and keep innovating. I think those are really great lessons and advices. Do you have any other life lessons to share with us?
With the pandemic, with what's happening with COVID-19, It's really made me think about what's really important, and this could happen to anybody. This could happen to anyone, old, young, um, female, male, it could be anybody. So cherish every moment with your family. Don't take things for granted. Even though you're a career woman, even though you're a driven person, even though you have a lot of ambitions, just don't forget about family. Don't forget about the most important things in life, because you'll never know what's going to happen tomorrow. So, this pandemic has really changed my mind. I'll tell you, before, it was just really about goals and careers, but it's changing the world, and we have to learn from this. I think God is also trying to tell us something, right? So make the most out of this, learn from this, and other than that, just take it one day at a time.
You're amazing, Cherryanne. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for your time. I really love all those things that you shared about your life and the lessons that you learned from it. And for sure, there are many women who would learn from them as well. And so, thank you so much. It has been a productive evening, productive day for all of us. So, everyone, thank you so much for hanging in there in this Women Powered episode with Miss Cherryanne Lee Angoy. And I hope that you keep safe, stay healthy, stay beautiful, and God bless everyone.
Thank you. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Ingat always.